Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leigha with a big steal. Leigha for 3.
Let's go, Dreamers.
Good afternoon, everybody. Coming to you from inside the beautiful Changhua County Stadium here in Taiwan. We bring you the action in the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. It is the home opener of the Formosa Dreamers, 0-1 at this point of the season, going up against the visiting Macau Black Bears, now at 2-2. Second game also for the Macau Black Bears this weekend here in Taiwan. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, working alongside Kurt Long, helping me break this game down. Kurt, welcome to the coverage. Let's take a quick scan first of the team standings here.
Yeah, it's start of the season, but plenty of games happening already. We're getting a feel of where these teams are at. Mono Vampire with 3 wins, 0 losses atop. New team out of Taipei, the Fubon Braves. Strong start as well, 3-1. They just had a big win against the Macau Black Bears that we're going to see today, who sit right below them at 2-2. And we have Alab, Kuala Lumpur ahead of the Dreamers also, who are playing their second game, like you said. Yeah. But it should be a good battle today.
That's right. A couple of teams haven't played yet. Saigon Heat, Singapore Slingers haven't made their season debut here. But before we go into the details for both of these teams, let's take a quick look first at the unit starting lineups of both teams here. Macau Black Bears going up against the Formosa Dreamers. Team introductions.
Starting by 申报人，澳门黑熊队3号 number 3 Miguel, number 4 10号 Liang, number 10 10号 Mcmorrow, number 13 13号 Warren Alab Brandon, fighting back 20号7号 Bill, head coach 总教练 Charles Hunter Markus, assistant coach 助理教练 Vincent Yes. 等一下，累积能量爆发的时候到了，我们待会。
Back to the action here inside the Changhua County Stadium. Battle between the Macau Black Bears and the Formosa Dreamers. First home game of the season for the Dreamers and only their second game in total. Let's take a look at first the game of the Macau Black Bears a couple of games ago. This is the game you were talking about earlier, Kirk. Black Bears losing for the second time against the Braves on the Braves home court though in Taipei, and on the other hand, the opener on the road for the Formosa Dreamers did not come with a win. They had to battle in this one, Kirk. They were down by as many as 23 points in the first half, but they battled, only lost by 5.
Yeah, and it was a tough start for the Dreamers. They found themselves down by 20 early in the game. So, like you said, they did show some fighting spirit. These guys, their chemistry is still something that they're working on. Yeah. That's one thing that they pointed out in their pregame, but definitely they like being at home here today.
But this guy, Kenny Manigault, tearing it up in his first 4 games here in the ABL, has stopped 30 points in 3 of their first 4 games. A very explosive scorer, and can also do it on the defensive end of the court.
Yeah, Kenny Manigault will be an extremely big focus of the Dreamers defense today, but he won't be the only one.
Yeah, Jennings Leung with Mike McKinney fouling out early in this game against the Fubon Braves. Jennings Leung pick up the scoring, and of course his usual 3-point shooting was present for the Macau Black Bears, although again it wasn't enough for them to overcome the Fubon Braves in that particular game. Now those 2 players will be key here against a reinforced, a new look Formosa Dreamers team who will be playing their first home game of the season, and their brand new import Markus Keen, who has played against his former team Mono Vampire in that particular matchup, scored 22 right away for Formosa on the road.
Yeah, Markus Keen is going to have to be continue to be aggressive for this Dreamers team. They want him to score the basketball a lot, and with him and Mick McKinney out there, they're just 2 incredibly explosive offensive players.
That's right. And how about the addition of former national team player, the explosive Jet Chang, to the lineup of Formosa, Kirk?
Yeah, Jet Chang has a lot of experience playing in different leagues throughout Southeast Asia, playing college basketball in Hawaii. Just a great foundation, brings a lot of just toughness to the team, can rebound, can run in the break, and defensively he's very tough as well.
Last year, he was actually a member of the Fubon Braves that won the championship in the local league here in Taiwan. Let's take a look at first the starting unit for both teams. Keen, Yang, Lee, Jaron Young, Mcmorrow for Formosa, Manigault, Young, McKinney, Brandon Edwards, and Liu Zihao in the starting unit of Coach Charles Hantumacos, a brand new head coach of the Macau Black Bears. On the other side, we have Coach Kyle Julius, former head coach of the Saigon Heat, now manning the sidelines for the Formosa Dreamers here in Taiwan. Here we go. 0-1 Formosa Dreamers, looking to give their fans, their home crowd here, give them a W on a Sunday afternoon here in the ABL, going up against a very tough and always dangerous Macau Black Bears team. Thank you for catching up the coverage. Yeah, yes, Kurt.
I'm sure both of the coaches really focused on the start, just getting off to a rough start, because the Dreamers have a great home court advantage, and they love playing in this atmosphere. But for the Macau Black, so that's why the Macau Black Bears just want to take them out of it early. But for the Dreamers, they shot themselves in the foot last game by getting down big. So we'll see how they start.
Well, that's something they want to address here. Fast start right away. That's what they're hoping for if you're the Formosa Dreamers, but they missed their first shot. That's Markus Keen missing from short range. Just Jennings Leung. Macau Black Bears 2-2, losing to the Fubon Braves 106-93 last Friday. So they want to bounce back, and they want to get back on the winning track. It's hard if you go down 2-3 as early as now in the season. Markus Keen off the miss by Edwards. Yang surveys the floor, looking for Mcmorrow at the post. Brand new set for the imports, by the way, for the Formosa Dreamers. Here's Leigha Macmorrow, 7'2", banging against the 6'6" Edwards. Lee Shui Lin, Jaron Young face-up jumper, tough shot. Mcmorrow corrals the rebound. That's another chance for Formosa, although he loses possession. We got a foul here called against the white shirts. It's gonna be against Amigo Yang.
Yeah, and Mcmorrow would like to have that one back. He got that offensive rebound just 2 feet away from the basket, and normally he would like to have 2 points in that situation. And And Mcmorrow has to be aggressive. The Fubon Braves outscored the Macau Black Bears by 20 points inside the paint. So that's where you can take advantage against this Black Bears team. So they want to get those easy baskets under the rim.
Correct, and that's exactly how they came back against Mono. They got a lot of second chance opportunities, 19 offensive rebounds to be exact, creating 23 second chance points. Jianing Leung, second try, nothing for Jianing Leung there. A couple of tries, so we're still at nil apiece in the early goings of this one. 18-18 to go in the first quarter. Oh, a steal and the score right there for Jianing Leung.
Yeah, not what you would expect from Leigha Macmorrow. One-on-one, you gotta, cut, get open, do the early work, and good heads-up play by Leung, who missed his first 2 threes to get that one.
Oh, Jianing Leung exploding to the basket. First 2 points of the Dreamers here at home. Manigault to the rolling Edwards, and he will be fouled from behind by Jianing Leung. But what a way to get to the scoreboard if you are the Formosa Dreamers. Let's take a look at the breakaway here. Good fake by Jianing Leung, able to blow by 2 defenders, and then the stuff, Kurt.
Yeah, you can't relax on defense against Young. He can be explosive to the basket. A great little hesitation ball fake. Faking the handoff, and then just needed one more dribble to attack the lane and show off that athleticism.
Jianing Leung, big game for him in their opener against Mono Vampire, 16 points and 18 rebounds. But here is Brandon Edwards, undersized big guy, playing for the Macau Black Bears. 20+ points per game scorer for the Black Shirts in their first 4 games. Yang pulls the trigger and knocks it down. Early three-pointer by Yang right there.
And that's what you want to do if you're the Dreamers. The Macau Black Bears showing some 3/4 court pressure, and if they can't get back and get hands up on the 3-point line, the Dreamers have always been a great outside shooting team, and Yang just adds to that list of shooters.
And also a very good defensive team as Jianing Leung denies that jump shot. Leigha Macmorrow. Oh, that's a backcourt violation against the Formosa Dreamers. Leigha Macmorrow telling their referees Kenny Manigault actually touched it. But the call will stay here. It will go to the side of the Black Bears as Leigha Macmorrow looking to go down on defense.
Yeah, Coach Kyle Julius doesn't like to call 2 easy mistakes here in the first few minutes for the Dreamers. But just got to shake off some of those cobwebs.
Here is Brandon Edwards. Again, the primary scorers for the Black Bears are this guy, Mike McKinney, and Kenny Manigault. That time, McKinney got away, got the basket, and the foul in the process.
Yeah, McKinney has those long strides and a great reach there to finish with the layup. And if you're Leigha Macmorrow, you cannot relax for 1 second against him. Stopping him is probably impossible, but you want to slow him down as much as possible.
All right, one of the best one-on-one scorers we have in the league. Mike McKinney, though, only had 11 points in their game against the Fubon Braves. Picked up his 4th personal foul with 9:07 remaining in the second quarter, and then eventually fouled out in the 3rd quarter of that game. That's why he was limited to only 11 points. Yang. Oh, the poke by Manigault. And that's going to be a foul against Kenny Manigault here with Amigo Yang, rather, attacking him.
Yeah, great job by Yang to try to get around the corner. And you see the reach by Manigault right there. And they need everyone in this offense to stay aggressive for the Dreamers.
It is an early 7-5 lead for the visiting Black Bears. Keen, oh, pass is deflected. Another turnover for Formosa. McKinney got inside, and that's Brandon Edwards catching the pass and finishing underneath.
Yeah, that one snuck through there. It seemed like McKinney almost lost a hand of it, but it went straight to Edwards, who laid it in, and got to reward the big guy for sprinting down the court.
That's right. You got a fast start here for the Macau Black Bears. Also very good pace we are playing at here. Yang fakes the pass. Fadeaway jumper is good for Yang. That's his 2nd basket of the game.
Yeah, just so smooth, just a smart play. We saw what Yang can do from beyond the arc, knocks down the open three-point shot that time, puts the ball on the floor, has McKinney on him, probably has about 20 extra pounds of muscle, and takes advantage with a nice little step-back jumper.
That's the 35-year-old Yang Chi-min with a basket. Edwards, oh, got Mono to commit, or Macmorrow rather to commit. Just unable to make the shot. Here's Leigha Macmorrow, barreling his way through, able to draw the foul though.
Yeah, great look by Lee Shui Lin. Mcmorrow didn't corral the rebound, but sprinting down the floor well.
And look at this, McKinney lost the handle, but somehow ended with Brandon Edwards able to finish inside and then quickly answered by Amigo Yang. So up and down we go here in the first quarter, as expected, Kurt.
Yes, most definitely. These two teams, these coaches, they want to get out in transition. They want a high-paced game. They both have some high-octane offensive players that can score the basketball. So they want as many possessions as possible. And especially if you're the Dreamers, you have the deeper bench. You have guys that can come off.
Right.
That was just one of the things that Coach Kyle Julius said in the pregame interview. He wants to play fast. That way he can try to wear down some of the starters for the Black Bears.
That's right. Coach Kyle Julius specifically said that the Macau Black Bears only plays with 6 guys in the rotation, at least primarily 6 guys in this lineup. So let's see if that's going to work here. Macau Black Bears very effective though so far, as Manigault missing the mark there. Markus Keane bringing the ball down. Mcmorrow broke free, and that's Leigha Macmorrow giving Formosa the 2-point advantage.
And that's some of the chemistry that the Dreamers have been talking about. They haven't been together a long time as a unit, but Mcmorrow sprinting down and getting that early seal, and that was great job by Keane to recognize he had the mismatch early on in the possession and deliver that pass.
Oh, look at this. Markus Keane tracking down Leigha Macmorrow, who had McKinney on him, and then Mark McKinney doing the wise thing to not get in the picture there. At least get out of there. Oh, Jennings Leung, second steal. Liu Zihao getting denied by Jaron Young. Yang to Jet Chang, cross-court pass. Young surveys the floor. They will go to Markus Keane, who pulls the trigger. That's way off the mark. And ball goes back to the Macau Black Bears.
Yeah, but that's 2 times now for the Dreamers getting a turnover on that inbound. So you're going to have to try to be a little more creative or disciplined, not letting those plays happen.
So we have a TV timeout here with the Dreamers up by 2, 11-9 here in the first quarter. Halfway done here in the opening quarter inside Changhua County Stadium. It is an 11-9 lead for the home team, the Formosa Dreamers, in the midst of a 6-0 run to overtake the Macau Black Bears here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and now the Dreamers picking up a little bit more in full court, trying to wear down this Black Bears team. And with guys like Young, out on the wing, McKinney, you know, you can give some of that pressure.
Yeah. And you love the effort here, especially defensively by Jaron Young. A couple of blocks already, and a lot of deflections in the early goings of this game.
Yeah, and this is a matchup, too. I like Jet Chang, strong body, quick. We'll see how he can do against McKinney.
That's right. McKinney lobs it up. Edwards again got Mcmorrow to commit, and this time he finishes underneath.
Yeah, right in time. Shot clock was going off, but Mcmorrow now showing he likes to jump against those shot fakes. So almost got himself in trouble earlier having a fall.
And so far, Edwards is taking full advantage of that. Young got open. Young exploding to the hoop. Smooth-looking layup coming from Jaron Young. He's off to a great start.
Yeah, and they needed that from Young. He found his rhythm in the second half of their first game, but if they can get him to have 2 big halves, that would be good for the Dreamers.
But Mike McKinney, there's no stopping this guy. McKinney got inside, forced his way up, got fouled, and eventually got the hoop as well. Look at this lob by Mike McKinney, lobbing it up to Brandon Edwards, and then just finishing underneath. Jaron Young, on the other hand, wisely taking it closer to the basket, even though he had the initial open look.
It's great setup play that gets Young that open for the drive. You know, he sets the pick, he pops out, and the defense closes out, and then you just kill that closeout. Their momentum is going away from the basket. Young able to use his explosiveness to get into the lane.
Yeah, because Young can shoot it also from the outside. Young over to Markus Keane. Keane not yet on the scoreboard. Young pull-up jumper. Young knocks it down. He stays hot for the Formosa Dreamers.
A lot of coaches would say that's not the smartest shot, having a foot on the three-point line. But when you can stroke it like Young does, Young just knocking it down, doesn't matter where you're shooting it from.
And Mike McKinney just relentlessly attacking this Formosa defense. Again, dissecting their defensive scheme. They're able to get the basket, or get to the basket rather, draw the foul. He will head to the line for a couple of shots. Let's take a look at first the pull-up jumper by Amigo Yang here. He's 7 point off the ball game. And then Mike McKinney blowing by a lot of defenders on his way to the hoop.
Yeah, Amigo Young, really not a flashy player, but really giving some. I believe they called that last one an offensive foul. So there's some discussion there to figure that out. But
and Markus Keane right after getting on the board for the Dreamers.
And that's a scary sign for the Black Bears. Is Markus Keane, when he gets going, he can really get hot.
McKinney couldn't retaliate. Young gets the rebound. Keane bounce pass to Chang. Kick out to Keane. Markus will slow down. He's got the taller Liang on him. Markus Keane trying to shake him off. Kick out. Chang for 3. Too strong. He was 5 out of 5 in the first half against, or 4 out of 4 rather, in the first half from against Mono. Liu Zihao missing the mark. Young bringing the ball down. They go to the corner. Jet Chang. Kick out to Amigo Yang. Missing the mark. Liang with the board.
Yeah, good box out by Liang. Had Mcmorrow right on his hips, but able to stay low, be disciplined, give a little bump, and then go up for the rebound. If he had just tried to out-jump Mcmorrow, probably wouldn't have happened.
That's right. McKinney will get inside again. Bounce pass to Huh. Huh. Short hook over Mcmorrow. Will not fall. And here comes Markus Keane again. Keane facilitates.
I feel like Mcmorrow has the mismatch down low.
Right. And Keane quickly recognizing that, quickly getting it to Leigha Macmorrow, and Mcmorrow is fouled.
Yeah, and Edwards might be here in some early foul trouble. That's why he's over on the bench. And Markus Keane realizing that. Mcmorrow seals early, the help comes, but Mcmorrow able to draw the foul, and that could be a sign of what we see a lot when Edwards has to take a rest.
Oh, that's an early problem for the Macau Black Bears. Brandon Edwards already with 2 personal fouls, and Kenny Manigault also with 2 personals. So a couple of problems here developing for the Macau Black Bears in the first quarter, with only Mike McKinney, the only world import on the floor right now, Kurt.
Yeah, and he can do enough for you offensively. McKinney can score the basketball and with no problem, but defensively and how they rebound against this big Dreamers lineup will be the question that we'll have to see is how they answer.
And the lead has been stretched to 6 points here, 20-14. We got a timeout on the floor. I'll be right back after this.
Okay, one possession, green hold. One possession. One possession. You three on the bottom. You in the middle. One possession only. Okay, on off. Hey.
All right, back to the ball game. It is 20-14 for the Formosa Dreamers. It's a couple of plays ago. We'll just clarify, Kirk. It was the second foul called against Brandon Edwards. Offensive foul away from the basketball. That's why he was called for his second personal foul. And now, both Kenny Manigault and Brandon Edwards sitting on the bench of the Macau Black Bears. Only Mike McKinney as their world import on the floor alongside Liu Zihao, Ryan Liang, Jenning Leung, and Huh. So let's see what they can do here. Liu Zihao over to Liang. Liang taking the shot over Young. No good. Rebound goes to Jenning Leung. Look at the hustle of Young. Oh, stolen away by Tianlei.
Great defense for the Dreamers. They're actually in a zone that possession. And we'll see how they can convert now and what the Black Bears will do.
Under a minute remaining, and Markus Keene nailing his second three-point shot off the game.
Yeah,
23-14.
Really getting heated up now, and you can't give him any daylight for that three-point shot. He can rise up and knock it down with ease.
Quick answer on the other side by Liu Zihao. So that's one option they can go to. Liu Zihao. Keene off to the side. Woo Sung Wei saving it a little bit too late as the ball was already outside. So Macau will get it back with 25.5 remaining in the first. Let's take a look at the pull-up jumper by the lethal scorer Markus Keene from downtown.
Yeah, Keene, that last one was just a heat check after knocking down his second three, but last possession, if you're the Black Bears here, you really want to make sure you can have the last shot of the quarter if you want to manage the shot.
Young went early there. Young got it back. They have 6 seconds to work with. Liu Zihao to Liang. Liang step back jumper. It will not fall. And that's how we will end the first 10 minutes of play here inside Changhua County Stadium in Taiwan. Home opener for the Formosa Dreamers. They are looking good right now, 23-16 after the first. We'll be back for second quarter action of this game. This is your ABL 10. Back inside the Changhua County Stadium here in Taiwan. Second quarter now underway of this matchup between the Macau Black Bears and the Formosa Dreamers. To begin the second frame, it's the home team, Formosa, up by 7 points, 23-16. You guys have Martin Javier working alongside Kurt Long, and again, a fast-paced start to the second frame we are having here as McKinney gets the rebound there. So earlier, Kurt, Macau had the faster start, but Formosa was able to recover as scores the basket underneath. What happened there in the first? How were the Formosa Dreamers able to take control of the game?
Yeah, I think Jaren Young being aggressive early was big. Of course, Marcus Keene got going, but I think the big thing was Young Chin Min right here with the ball. He had the hot start, scored 7 early points, and gave them the big local boost that they needed. Not such a wise pass there, but his energy and efficiency offensively in that first quarter was big for them. Anytime those local players can aid on the scoring, right, the way that he did, your team's going to have a good chance to be successful.
And Yang Chin Min again, or Amigo Yang as they call him here, 7 points in the first quarter. Hot start for him. Although the Macau Black Bears right now unable to play with Kenny Manigault and Brandon Edwards. Both have 2 personal fouls each. And Mike McKinney strokes that one from downtown. Well, they have Mike McKinney to pick up the scoring here, Kurt.
Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, he can score in bunches and in so many different ways.
And the Formosa Dreamers, though, continue to find Leigha Macmorrow inside. He definitely has the advantage over Junjin.
Yeah, most definitely. They're smart by keeping going to him, but what you want to see here as we see the replay is you want to make sure guys like Jet Chang and Young are still being aggressive and still being engaged in the game. You know, even if that's the game plan as of the moment, you still want those big-time scorers to look for their own shots and you know, constantly be a threat offensively. That's with that mindset.
Also keep their confidence going on the offensive side of the court.
Definitely.
Macmorrow 2 for 2, back to a 4-point lead for the Dreamers. Mike McKinney bringing the ball down. Jenning Leung. Junjin, Liu Zihao goes inside. Warren Liang got away and flipped it up and in.
Yeah, great ball fake by Liang and great possession by the Macau Black Bears.
Markus Keene, while fading away, no good. A chance for the Black Bears to tie this one up or take the lead. Liang, though, missing the triple try. Quick shot coming from Jenning Leung. Markus Keene, hang time, it's good.
Defying gravity, folks, here in Changhua County. And Markus Keene showing us, he's like, oh, only 2 defenders back, I can take this.
That's the 5'9" Markus Keene. Sliding, gliding, and flying for Formosa. Here comes Keene again. Man of the moment. Oh, he gets it to Jaren Young. Another hang time move, this time from Young. And he is able to draw the foul. A couple of shots coming for Jaren. Take a look at this move. And the fine first. Warren Liang, good cut to go inside the paint. And then right after, Markus Keene blowing by Mike McKinney in the air to get the bucket.
Yeah, and that was a big bucket going back to the Macau Black Bears. Liang getting that shot. It was after 3 or 4 or 5 passes, and they were within their offense. And, you know, Mike McKinney's a great scorer, but you don't want to just rely on his ability to break down the defense. You also want to get those easy baskets by making the defense move and making the defense work.
And also getting those much-needed production from the local players. Let's see, there's a foul on the rebound. Junjin called for the personal foul as he was trying to box out Leigha Macmorrow. Let's take a look at the replay here. Yeah, he was facing Leigha Macmorrow, trying to get position for that box out. Oh, open look for Yang. It's good. And Amigo Yang hits double figures with that jumper. He's got 10 points, and the lead is up to 8.
Yeah, Amigo Yang just really going to make the Black Bears defense have to spread out, and that's just going to open up the lane more for Mcmorrow, more for Young to get their own points later on in the game, because he has to be a focus point now. He's knocking down shots everywhere.
step back jumper. Another smooth move coming from Mike McKinney. Able to shake off the defense of Lee Shui-lin.
Yeah, he's almost unstoppable when he's scoring 30 feet from the basket on a step back with the quickness he has. And you know he can get to the basket. Makes guarding McKinney a very hard job.
Very hard. Again, one of the best one-on-one players we have in the league. Let's take a look at the replay here. Amigo Yang off the inbound got open. Had all day to shoot for that one, but it was quickly answered here by Mike McKinney. Take a look at this move. The step back, losing Lee Shui-lin in the process. So it is 31-26.
Yeah, Lee Shui-lin is up for this challenge, though. He's played against a lot of top guards in Asia throughout his career, and he has a tough battle today.
McKinney got it inside, and Brandon Edwards on the receiving end again. Two-man game for Macau.
And one of the ways that McKinney's game is underrated is his passing ability, too, because when he gets into the lane and makes the big guy help on him, he's able to have the right timing.
And he attracts a lot of attention, but this guy is unconscious right now. Amigo Yang nailing another jumper here in the first half, Kurt.
Yeah, Yang, you know, it's nothing flashy. He pops out, he gets open, he reads the play well, and just knocking down shots right now, which is what you need.
Yeah. Manigault missing. Oh, Young slipped. Young is called for the dribbling violation.
Yeah, he was ready to make a highlight move, and he just foot gave out, his shoe slipped a little bit on the penetration. As we see here, McKinney with the crossover hesitates, gets the big guy in the air, then drops it off to Edwards at the right time. All Edwards has to do is lay it in, and that's great combination basketball right there.
And you can't blame Mcmorrow because you need to check Mike McKinney in that process. And ball goes the other way, though. That's a turnover against the Black Bears. So 34-28. Let's take a look at what happened here. Oh, it hit the right leg of Mike McKinney. So unclear if that was actually the call, as Jaron Young knocks it down from deep.
Yeah, and in the first quarter, I felt like he passed up one or two of those open shots. But good to see him be aggressive, have confidence from beyond the three-point arc. We know he can knock those down.
Right, and the Dreamers currently doing damage from that range. Kenny Manigault, though, unable to get his rhythm in this one. That's a miss for the Formosa Dreamers, but there was a whistle. Take a look at this three-pointer by Jaron Young from the right wing.
Yeah, that last foul being on Mcmorrow, and it's just his first foul, so he gets to stay in there as Jet Chang will take a break. And Jet Chang, not super aggressive offensively, but you know, while he was in there, his man, he was guarding McKinney, a couple different players, and he did a great job defensively, just giving that defensive energy.
That's right. Series of exhibition for Mike McKinney. Edwards no good. Oh, Katong recovering. Here's Kenny Manigault. He's got the double team. Shot clock is down to 5. Picked up by Jaron Young. A turnover for the Black Shirts. Markus keen on the break. Stops, pops. Does not fall. McKinney tracks it down. Mike against Lee Shui-lin. He will fake, he will fire, and that's an air ball for Mike. He will not get the whistle. Ahead to Yang. Amigo Yang with 15 in the first half.
Yeah, and that was great defense to offense for the Dreamers as they had a double team in the corner, get that steal from Manigault, and able to find Amigo Yang still down. Maybe a little cherry pick there, but he knew his teammates had that 4-on-5 and they could still get the stop.
Took his chance right there, Kirk. And he was rewarded with 2 points. 39-28 though for the Formosa Dreamers. Their biggest lead of the game so far. 4:04 remaining in the first half. We'll be back after this. 39-28 for the Formosa Dreamers with 4:04 remaining in the first half. We are still here inside Changhua County Stadium, and that guy, former national team player of Chinese Taipei, Yang Qin-min, or Amigo Yang, red hot here in the first half. He's got 15 on the board.
Yeah, 15 out of 39 points has been huge to have a local player give that kind of production.
That's a big bonus for the Formosa Dreamers. A couple of attempts missed on the other side by Macau.
Yeah, Leung on the other side, who has been that local spark for the Macau Black Bears, has just been struggling with that outside shot. He knows he can take it. He's done great defensively, just picks up another, draws an offensive foul there against Lee Sui Lin, and he's gotten a couple steals.
Yeah.
But offensively, the Black Bears need a guy like Leung to step up and knock down some shots.
He's had plenty of good games already in their first four. That's going to be an offensive foul on Lee Sui Lin. Good take by Jenning Leung. But you're right, he has to pick it up here. He has to find his rhythm on that outside shot. Oh, Edwards wasn't looking. It is recovered by Manigault. Manigault, a long floater, is short. Mcmorrow pulls it down.
Yeah, Mcmorrow's presence there didn't block the shot, but still making it tough for the Black Bears to get those easy layups they'd like to have when they attack the basket.
And in that sequence, it was Markus Keane who chose to attack the defense of Mike McKinney, and successfully fishing the foul is Markus Keane. He will take two in a little bit. Jet Chang coming in, replaces Lee Sui Lin. So Markus Keane heading to the free throw line, and once led the NCAA Division I basketball in scoring when he was with Central Michigan, 30 points per game. This is a 5'9" guard, Kirk, scoring 30 points per game in college basketball before.
Yeah, in the U.S. Division II, actually. Leading scorer for Division II, but nonetheless, I mean, you still have hundreds of teams, thousands of players,
right.
And he was the leading scorer nationally. So a huge deal for him, and his game translates no matter where he is in the world. He's a great scorer.
That's right. Keane has already has 9 points in the game, quickly answered right here by Macau, 40-30. If you're the Black Bears, cannot afford to trade baskets with the Formosa Dreamers here. You gotta get a few stops. Jet Chang, Leigha Macmorrow, 3 seconds in the key, called against Liam. So 2:39 remaining in the second quarter. Mike McKinney, again, facilitating here. Liu Zihao on the receiving end. This might be the opening that Macau has been looking for. Liu Zihao strokes it from downtown. That's 5 straight now for Liu.
Yeah, Liu, even from last season, he has the ability to knock down those shots. He stayed aggressive today. So just another player that can really step up for the Black Bears.
And that's another 3 seconds in the key violation called against the Formosa Dreamers back-to-back.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions. Coach Kyle Julius doesn't love it. You might see 1 or 2 of those a game, but to see it on back-to-back possessions is a tough break for the Dreamers team.
And against a very dangerous and explosive Macau Black Bears team, this could be detrimental for Formosa. As McKinney gets fouled, he falls down. Dreamers not yet in the penalty. Both teams have 4 team fouls each. That's going to be called against Jet Chang.
Yeah, and McKinney tried to throw it up at the rim as he was getting fouled. They do call it on the floor.
But McKinney is heading to the line here.
He thinks he is, but he was hoping. He was on the floor by the time the referees actually made the call. So it is going to be Leung with the inbounds. And, defensively, though, the Dreamers holding the Black Bears to 33 points so far in the first half. That's definitely probably reaching their goal.
That's right. Mike McKinney missing the mark. Markus Keane, Dreamers on the attack. Keane pull-up. Back rims the shot. Manigault pulls it down. And Kenny stops on the dime, waits for his teammates. Kenny, ineffective so far in the first half. He throws the ball away. It is caught by Yang. Keane against Leung. Markus Keane, good defense here by Jenning Leung. Mcmorrow on time. And Liu Zihao got there in time to prevent that slam from happening.
Yeah, I thought Mcmorrow, he had those big eyes when he first caught the ball. He wanted to slam that one down as Liu had to help on the weak side, but good challenge by Liu to stop the easy layup or the monster dunk from happening.
Yeah, fouled him hard enough to prevent that one from happening. Leigha Macmorrow at the free throw line. Missing on the first, the 7'2" Canadian. Super athletic Leigha Macmorrow. Bounced around in Asia as well. Has had a lot of stints, including one here in Taiwan with the Fubon Braves as well.
Yeah. And 10 years ago, if you asked him, he was more of a ice hockey player than basketball player. But then over the course of a summer, he grew about 8 inches and said, hey, I might as well use this height with something else besides hockey. And he's turned into quite a successful basketball player.
That's a fantastic decision on the part of Liam to shift sports. Leung, pull-up jumper. Does not fall. McKinney gets it back. Mike fakes. Yuzi Howe is open. Too strong. Ball is tracked down by Markus Keane. Gets it to Young. Amigo pull-up brings it downhill. McKinney picks it up. And Black Bears are on the move. McKinney pull-up. Doesn't fall. So a lot of chances here for the Black Bears. Yang to Young. Pulls the trigger and knocks it down. That's a big three from Jaron Young.
Yeah, it's beautiful basketball transition, attacking the rim, getting the defense sucked in, kicking it back out in rhythm. Young able to knock it down, and now the Black Bears will have the last possession. They'd love to see it go back into single digits. We'll see what they can come up with.
Ball in the hands of Kenny Manigault. Manigault, scoop, oh, deflected by Young, but Edwards was right there for the cleanup. And that's how we will end the second half or second quarter action. First half action ends with this one. That basket by Brandon Edwards, able to pull Macau Black Bears to within 9 points here at halftime. Our score 44-35. A lot of exciting plays already happening here inside the Changhua County Stadium. So later on, we'll have highlights. We'll have the numbers for you guys coming in just a little bit. Again, 44-35 in favor of the home team, the Formosa Dreamers. We'll be back after this.
就可以拿着球棒转圈了。准备好 ，Ready， 音乐请准备。好，加油，转10圈，1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、9。
Back to the coverage. This is your ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. Battle between the Formosa Dreamers and the Macau Black Bears here inside the Changhua County Stadium. Let's take a look at first the numbers here, Kirk. Why is the Formosa Dreamers ahead right now by 9 points against Macau?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had as many shots, but they are being a lot more efficient. The man leading them in that way is Miguel, who is the only local player to score in the first half for the Dreamers. But when you score 15 points, that helps your local side out a lot and helps take some of the pressure or a lot of the pressure off your import players. And, you know, it also helps when you're hitting those three-point field goals, and they have 7 of those right now, which allows those driving lanes or those dump downs to Mcmorrow to open up if you're the Dreamers. And so 3 out of 16 on the other side for the Black Bears. You know, 18% from three-point land. That's a tough number to win with.
Right.
But we still do have another half, so they can turn that around. Speaking of the Black Bears, and then, you know, getting to the free throw line, the Black Bears are successful when they're there. They just haven't been there very much compared to the Dreamers. And, you know, the rebounds is also lopsided, which was a big factor for the Black Bears in their last game against Fubon Braves as well, just struggling on the glass and struggling with those points inside near the basket. So definitely some trends here to this first half for the Black Bears, and definitely some good things for the Dreamers to focus on and want to continue, because a lot of basketball left here in this game.
We got 20 minutes to be played, and again, Formosa Dreamers ahead by 9, 44-35 in this stretch. We'll be back for the second half action of this game. You guys are watching the ASEAN Basketball League Season 10. Lights here. Again, we had a lot, especially in this basketball game, because it is fast-paced all throughout, Kirk. And let's take a look at some of them here, including this ankle breaker by Mike McKinney here, who leads the way for the Macau Black Bears with 12 points so far. And then a lot of plays with Brandon Edwards as well for Mike.
Yeah, Mike McKinney knows how to set up his teammates. His teammates just have to stay ready for it when he's breaking down the defense, and they got to stay on their toes, ready to catch and shoot, ready to slash to the basket and create shots for themselves as well. You know, scoring 35 points and a half, you're not going to get very many wins in the ABL with that type of offensive production, especially against a team like the Dreamers that's well-rounded and has a great attack. So, Black Bears offensively just got to keep it going.
Right.
And for the Dreamers, you just want to keep it up. I'm sure that Coach Kyle Julius at halftime was focusing on their defense, knowing that that's the reason right now they have a 9-point lead. And if they can have another defensive effort in the second half like they did in the first, then they're going to be able to come out and get their first victory of the season here at home.
That's right. They were able to take away a lot of shots for the Macau Black Bears, especially their three-point shooting in the first half. Black Bears, usually a very good three-point shooting team, only shot at 3 out of 15 from the field. Formosa, on the other hand, a very impressive 50% at 7 out of 14 from downtown. All right, 44-35. We got under 3 minutes remaining before we begin the third quarter action of this game. So hold on to your seats. We'll be back after this. Formosa Dreamers between or against the Macau Black Bears. Back to the coverage. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Season 10. And Sunday afternoon here inside Changhua County Stadium for the first time here in the season. The home opener for the Formosa Dreamers as they face the Macau Black Bears. Going into the second half, they have the 9-point lead here, 44-35. You guys are joined by Martin Javier working alongside Kurt Long, doing this coverage for you guys here in the ABL 10 as we take a look at the highlights of Mike McKinney in the first half. Only had 11 points a couple of days ago against the Fubon Braves. A bounce-back performance sort of here by Mike as he has 12 points already going into the third quarter. First crack at the basket for the Formosa Dreamers in the second half, and that is deflected by Kenny Manigault. Lee Shui Lin able to recover and nail the jumper to open the scoring here, Kurt.
Yeah, Lee Shui Lin just struggling for that timing on that first shot, but able to get it back, and that's big for him. He does such a great job setting up his teammates, but the Dreamers can be such a bigger threat when he gets going as well.
Quick answer on the other side by Brandon Edwards, and second local scoring for the Formosa Dreamers, Lee Shui Lin, aside from the 15 points by Amigo Yang, as Kurt was mentioning earlier during the halftime break. Amigo Yang has it. Young driving baseline, reverse, will not drop. Leigha Macmorrow working hard for that putback.
Yeah, Mcmorrow just a big body presence there. Great attack by Young, didn't get it to go, but Edwards just got to stay low, put a body on Mcmorrow because those points hurt the Macau Black Bears.
And Mike McKinney blowing by the D and finishing with the left hand. The Black Bears continue to trade baskets with the Formosa Dreamers here. Oh, Markus Keane, the crossover, the drive, and the basket for Keane.
Skip to my Lou. I think even some of the Black Bears players on the bench enjoyed watching that move. Not seeing their teammates get scored on, but that was a sick crossover.
Yeah, Kenny Manigault on the other side working here. And Manigault got the rebound right after, or got the ball after he made the shot. But Kenny Manigault nailing his first basket of the game. This is unusual. We know how explosive Manigault has been for Macau in the past 4 games. That's only his first 2 points. First made shot out of 8.
Yeah, and he scored that made shot. He assisted on the last one, so definitely here in the second half he looks to be more aggressive.
Markus Keane missing on the mark, and Leigha Macmorrow will be called for the personal as he was trying to get position for that rebound. 8:06 remaining in the third quarter. 9-point lead for the Formosa Dreamers. Again, their first game here at home. They're 0-1, lost their first game of the season against Mono Vampire. Black Bears, on the other hand, lost against the Fubon Braves 106-93 last Friday. Manigault feeding Edwards. Edwards losing this one. And ball staying on this side of the court. Black Bears have 6.7 to work with.
Manigault again, you know, getting Edwards some space, dropping off the nice little dish pass. Edwards got to be ready for that.
And Edwards off the inbound. Good play ran by the Black Bears.
Yeah, streaking to the basket. Great find by Leung. Good timing. And those are the types of plays that the Black Bears need. Breaking down the defense of the Dreamers together.
Markus Keane split the D, got tripped as he was able to draw the foul in the process. Keane heading to the line for a couple of shots. So 7-point lead for Formosa. Take a look at this find by Jennings Leung. Finding Edwards, got in the right position, and again, got there faster than Leigha Macmorrow, Kurt.
Yeah, he did. And Mcmorrow isn't a defender who wants to play far away from the basket, so when you can get him out there in a pick and roll situation, or you know, during an inbounds play like that, then that's a little bit out of his comfort zone. And Edwards used his smaller size and the speed as an advantage for that 2 points.
Definitely quicker to the ball as Markus Keane goes for 2 for 2 to give the Dreamers back the 9-point lead. Mike McKinney bringing this downhill. Again guarded by Lee Shuilin. McKinney still has it. Getting it to Kenny Manigault. Kenny driving left. Kenny off the glass and in.
Yeah, Manigault really getting going here. And that pick and roll action is something that he's able to create off, whether he's dropping it down to Edwards or whether he's finishing at the basket for himself.
A nice strip by Kenny Manigault. Yuzi Hao, the pass. Manigault back to Yuzi Hao, and the Black Bears will set up at the half court, although it's stolen away by Yang. Yang is on the move. Yang taking it to Mike McKinney, and Mike McKinney giving up the foul. But what a steal by Amigo Yang to break up the play of Macau.
Yeah, great hands, getting him up in the passing lane, and then uses his strong body to go coast to coast and draw the foul from McKinney.
And here's Amigo Yang short on the triple try. Manigault pulls it down. Kenny up against Young. Manigault the pull-up from the top of the key. He nails it. That's a free-pointer for Kenny.
Yeah, and Kyle Julius, this is not what he wanted to see in the first 4 minutes here. The Black Bears have scored 13 points in 4 minutes, and they're gaining a lot of confidence on the offensive end. And the Dreamers really need to focus on winning with defense right now.
Yang, quickly answers with a free of his own.
And this home crowd for the Dreamers is falling in love with Young. Awful quick into his first home game for the Dreamers.
Amigo Yang has 18 points. Kenny Manigault missing. Keane out of control. He recovers. Markus Keane lobs it up. Macmorrow unable to get there, but he tracks the ball down. McKinney picks it up. Mike picks the D. They have the numbers. It is a 4-on-1. McKinney going to Jennings Liang all the way to the cup. So the Black Bears turning it up here at the start of the third quarter. And they are able to cut the lead down to 5. We got a timeout on the floor called by Coach Kyle Julius. $55-50, that is the count with 5:29 remaining here in the third quarter. The Formosa Dreamers lead down to 5 points here as the Macau Black Bears continue their onslaught to begin the second half. Kurt.
Yeah, and we'll see one move that Coach Kyle Julius does right now is put back in Jet Chang, who had a good half on the defensive end earlier. And we'll see if just matchup change can maybe make a difference, because the Black Bears are on full throttle with their offense now, scoring 15 points in less than 5 minutes here to start the second half.
And with Kenny Manigault also getting his rhythm back here in the third quarter, you know he's bound to explode at some point in the game. So this is the time for Kenny to pick it up. Yeah, scoreless in the first half. Unusual, but he's slowly getting his rhythm here. Jet Chang brings it down. Jaron Young. Young is open again. No good. Tipped back in by Jaron Young.
Yeah, and that's big for Jaron Young, who could be a little bit more aggressive, I feel like, on the offensive end. So going forward, you know, Young is being guarded by Liu. I feel like he has that strength, that quickness mismatch, and it would be good for the Dreamers to see Young be aggressive right now for the next few minutes.
And Young has been exceptional on the offensive glass so far in their first 2 games. Young breaking free. Reverse will not drop. Got his own miss, but ball slipped from Jennings Liang's hands.
Yeah, he worked hard for that reverse lay, and he would have liked to see that go down.
Markus Keene! Oh, wow.
If there's any inch of a gap there for him, Markus Keene will capitalize at that time. Just Jordan S. had his legs kicked out wide and finished with a nice finger roll.
And a 4-point retaliation for the Formosa Dreamers here. Here's Amigo Yang missing, and then Jaron Young doing what he does best, skying high for that tip-in, and then Markus Keene saw the opening, attacked it right away, broke free, scooped it up and in, and the Dreamers are back in front by 9.
If you bring it up, we run chest. If you bring it up, we run pitch. Okay, hey, defense. Okay, defense. Hey, drop coverage. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Together, 1, 2, 3. Remember, he's coming over.
It is 59-54, the Formosa Dreamers. Again, a 14-0 run. We are seeing the highlights here of Amigo Yang. He has 18 points across his name to lead the way for the Formosa Dreamers here. to read actually all scorers so far in this basketball game. Just a fantastic performance so far for Yang in his first home game in a Formosa Dreamers jersey.
Yeah, most definitely. So efficient. Defensively, he's been tough. I mean, he's guarding McKinney on the other side. But this will be a key stretch now. Mcmorrow is out of the ball game. We got a veteran, Tien Lei, in for him, who's played many years in multiple professional leagues.
And the two-man game there. You saw the reaction by Macau there, going inside right away to Brandon Edwards, and then he saw the cutting Liu Zihao to the cup. Marcus Keane dancing, pull-up jumper, he got fouled, got it through on the triple try, and then Marcus Keane with a chance for a 4-point play.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, he called for the clear the lane. You know, he had Liu on him. He loved the mismatch. And, you know, pick your poison. Either he's going to beat him going to the basket that time, able to step back from beyond the arc, and chance for a 4-point play.
And look at this shot, Marcus Keane.
And he's had a nice introduction to the home crowd as well here today, as he has dazzled the fans several times with his drives to the basket, and you know, they know of his ability to get the long ball down as well.
Such a sensational scorer, Marcus Keane. He has 19 points across his name. Kenny Manigault will be fouled as he was driving to the basket. Ball staying on the side of Macau. They got 17 seconds to work with, so that's a lot of time to set this one up. They go right away to Brandon Edwards. Edwards getting hounded here by Tien Lei. Tien Lei will be whistled for the personal.
Yeah, Tien Lei had that inside position, but a good pass into Edwards there, and you know, probably a good foul not to give up the layup there. Got a little bit of the ball, but a lot of arm on the way up as well.
And again, for the second straight play, Macau Black Bears going to Brandon Edwards.
Yeah, with Mcmorrow out of the game, it's a smart choice. But I think Tien Lei will be up to the challenge, and so we'll see how long he can let Mcmorrow get a rest here before coming back in.
They're still up by 10 though. Edwards, 15 points. Oh, Manigault almost getting that one, but ball staying with Macau. And Manigault looking for a foul on the rebound, as he was, I think, grabbed in the process there. But fortunately for them, it stays on their side here. Let's take a look at that. Was definitely a pull down by Tien Lei. McKinney on the turn. McKinney! Oh, no good. Rebounded by Lei. Keane ahead to Young. Young finishes on the break. A 12-point lead for the Formosa Dreamers, and they get the steal. Quick outlet for Yang. Ball tracked down by Liu Zihao. Manigault. Manigault the floater. It's good for Kenny.
And the pace is picking up here in the third quarter, but what a crossover for Manigault, just leaving Young in his shoes almost a little bit that time, and a nice finish with the floater.
Marcus Keane, too strong on that one. Amigo Young tracks it down at midcourt. So a fresh 14 to work with for the white shirts. Keane using the screen. Keane, Young, Sharon pulls the trigger. That's too strong. Edwards with a pull down. And here comes Manigault. Kenny on the hezzy. Kenny scoop and a hoop, it's good.
Yeah, and there's no stopping Manigault right now, as Coach Kyle Julius wants to talk it over one more time, as the lead is under 10 again for the Dreamers.
Black Bears creating a run once more to cut it down to 8.
Ryan, you got the ball. Chest 2. Hey, I swear to God, just keep going to the rim, bro. It's there. It's there. Like when you spun on him, you had a layup. Okay, come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Together, 1, 2, 3. Come on.
Action picking up here in the third quarter. It is an 8-point lead for the Formosa Dreamers. The Dreamers trying to fend off this very pesky Macau Black Bears team, who are within 8 points right now, led by Kenny Manigault with 11 points in this quarter alone.
Yeah, Manigault really coming alive, being scoreless in the first half. And so has the entire offense of the Black Bears.
Razzle-dazzle for Markus Keane, although he misses the shot. Manigault, Channing Leung, no. Rebounded by Keane. Keane is on the move. Markus Keane all the way!
Man, it doesn't matter who's in front of him. He might not be large in physique, but he is a freight train still, nevertheless. When he has that ball going forward, he's explosive.
And Markus Keane has 21 big points to pace his team. Lead is back up to 10. Mike McKinney got the step, and Mike McKinney is fouled.
Yeah, and since Jet Chang has come in, McKinney's still going to have his opportunities, but McKinney has to work a lot harder for those attempts, having a veteran defender like Jet Chang on him.
And look at this take by Markus Keane. Taking the contact first from Kenny Manigault before making the shot. So Mike McKinney at the free throw line. Led the league in scoring last year in his second season with the Macau Black Bears. Upped his scoring, especially when Anthony Tucker went down with that season-ending injury. And former Heritage Import MVP Mike McKinney putting in 2 for 2. 67-59, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. Markus Keane driving, dish out to Chang. Oh, Chang produces from deep.
Yeah, he looks at his own bench, trying to instill some confidence in them, and that's big for Jet Chang. We know he can score the basketball. He's done it well in the SBL and for the Fubon Braves. And you got lots of scorers on this Dreamers team, but when you have other guys step up, it makes you so much better.
Mike McKinney missing. Edwards getting the offensive rebound. Leung, no. And again, Channing Leung still unable to find the mark from three-point range. Mcmorrow, pass is deflected. Manigault on the move. Manigault over to McKinney, who is open. Short. And a couple of triple tries missed by Macau. This will open up the opportunity for Formosa. Keane falls down. Keane getting it to Lee Shui Lin. Chang from the top of the key. Back-to-back hits for Jet Chang. And the crowd on its feet here inside Changhua County Stadium.
Yeah, these fans know what he's capable of. He's been a part of winning championship teams here in Taiwan already, and the fans would love to see him help bring that championship to this Dreamer squad.
And Channing Leung still unable to find the mark. Mike McKinney handles it. Last shot time for the visiting squad. They're down by 14. Here is Mike McKinney. Over to Manigault. Manigault will attack. Manigault, the floater to the right. And Jaron Young gets the rebound. Macau unable to capitalize on the opportunity. And that's how we will end 3 quarters of play here inside Changhua County Stadium. The Dreamers able to absorb all of the Black Bears runs in the third quarter and able to retaliate and extend their lead to 14, 73-59 going into the final chapter. Once again, we're coming to you from inside Changhua County Stadium here in Taiwan and heading into the final frame. The home team, Formosa Dreamers, ahead by 14 points. You guys have Martin Javier Kirklong breaking this game down, and a turnover will begin the fourth quarter for the Macau Black Bears here. And they're down by 14 points here, Kirk. Formosa Dreamers in the driver's seat, but we all know how explosive and dangerous the Black Bears can be.
Yeah, most definitely. They have the offense, but the Black Bears are going to need some help from Liang, from Liu, from Liang. Those local players just got to step up. They've shown what they're capable of. We know what they're capable of, but they just got to find that key and be consistent.
And as for the Formosa Dreamers, well, if they have that guy producing for them on a consistent basis, Markus Keane, 24 points. It's going to be a short night for Formosa. Edwards underneath, able to answer. 76-61. Brandon Edwards, by the way, has 17 points for the Black Bears.
Yeah, he's able to stop the bleeding for the moment, but you know, the Dreamers, that guy right there, the Jet Chang, really came out hitting those last 2 3-point shots. I mean, you're right, the Black Bears made a couple great runs in the third quarter, really got back into this game, but you know, the role players continue to step up for the Dreamers team.
And the Black Bears are starting to hum again. That's back-to-back baskets for Macau to trim the lead to 13. Kenny Manigault getting on the board once more. He's got 13 so far. All in the second half produced for Kenny. Keen the kick out. They rotate to Chang. Chang will be fouled by Warren Liang. Yeah. So a personal called against Liang here. That's the first team foul against the Black Bears. As we take a look at this gutsy 3-point step back by Markus Keane.
Yeah, you can't give Keane any allowance of space to see that rim outside. And on the other end, Manigault just showing his brute strength there. Yeah. He can score outside, inside, and you know, his team needs him to continue to be aggressive here in the next 8 minutes, 27 seconds left in the game.
And a bit of a struggle here for Jet Chang, even at the free throw line. He was sensational in their first game with 17 points and 5 out of 9 clipped from three-point range. Today, he only has 6, and he misses both on the free throws. Kenny Manigault will be fouled by Li Shuilin. So that's a mismatch exposed by Kenny.
Yeah, Li Shuilin shaking his head. He didn't like the call. He was working hard defensively. He kept his body in front, but just had that arm sticking out a little bit too far to try to contain Manigault on the drive.
And that's a tougher task for Li Shuilin. He goes out first with 4 personal fouls. Replacing him on the court is Amigo Yang, who leads the local producers with 18 points across his name. Mike McKinney. Edwards supposed to trigger. That's a bit strong for Brandon Edwards, and Markus Keane will let the ball sail out. 8:04 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Dreamers are up by 13 big points.
Yeah, you got to start stringing some stops together if you're the Black Bears. You're scoring okay, but you got to try to contain this guy right here, especially Markus Keane, who's, you know, forcing the double teams when they come. He finds his open teammates. If they don't come, he gets to the basket.
And just like that, another amazing move coming from Markus Keane, splitting the D, slithering to the hoop. Manigault, and again Manigault with the response on their side of the court. 78-65. Sharon Young, oh, shaking off Manigault. Young moving closer. They lost the ball. Young, they have the numbers. McKinney all the way with the left.
Yeah, those are costly mistakes for the Dreamers. Young able to break down the defense. They had that 2-on-1 under the basket, but the errant pass leads to an easy layup on the other side. So those are the types of plays that are continuing to keep the Black Bears in this game right now.
That's right. Amigo Young against Edwards. Under 7 remaining. Scoop, no hoop. Edwards gets it. Ahead to Jenning Leung. All alone for the lay-in.
Normally that would be Li Shuilin, sort of the safety defender, getting back, stopping those layups. Right now. they only have one true guard and Markus Keen on the court. He was under the basket, so unable to run down, and it's under 10 points again for the Black Bears defensively capitalizing off of the Dreamers' mistakes.
Markus Keen in and out. And this is another Macau run. Manigault over to Edwards. Edwards gets fouled. And Edwards will head to the line for two. Markus Keen will be called for this one, as he was trying to prevent the easy breakaway coming from Brandon Edwards. So the Black Bears with the late run here, Kirk, to make this a decent game for us, all of the fans here in the ABL and inside also Changhua County Stadium. But earlier, as we go to a timeout here, let's pick up the conversation from here later on as Coach Kyle Julius calls for time first. Lead for the Formosa Dreamers. Right now, the Macau Black Bears starting to mount a run here in the fourth quarter to come back in this game. But the problem is here, Kirk, every time they make a run, Formosa just answers right back with a bigger run of their own.
Yeah, you're right. And we saw this happen in the third quarter. You got it down to 5 points at one point in the third quarter, and then the Dreamers responded. So the Dreamers, though, if they're gonna respond, I think it starts on the defensive end. You know, they've been allowing the Black Bears to get where they want to go. They've allowed the Black Bears to come back because of transition points, fast break, easy lay-in. So I'm sure that's what Coach Kyle Julius focused on in the timeout. We got to get back in transition on defense and not let them get those early looks in the offense.
So there's Brandon Edwards going 1 out of 2 in this trip, but the lead has been sliced to 8 points here, 78-70. Chang brings it downhill. Young looking for the ball. Chang has it. They go to Yang, back out to Chang. They got 8 seconds to work with. Chang loses possession, and a jump ball situation. Let's see. It points to the direction of the Formosa Dreamers, so they maintain possession with about 5 seconds on their clock.
Yeah, and it didn't look like Coach Kyle Julius was very happy with that last possession. A lot of guys standing around. There might have been miscommunication coming off the timeout. Normally you have a set play drawn up as a coach. So that definitely didn't look like a play that they wanted to execute. And we'll see what they have planned here for a 5-second off the inbounds. Most likely you go to Markus Keen just because he can break down the defense so quickly and come up with a good shot.
So let's see. They go to Jet Chang again, though. Pulls the trigger from the top of the key off to the left. Young got it back. Another offensive rebound for Young. But the shot of Jet Chang did not hit the rim. So the shot clock did not reset. A shot clock violation right there for the Dreamers.
Yeah, you got to give props to the Black Bears defensively. They're able to, you know, get the Dreamers out of rhythm as well.
Mike McKinney. Door is wide open for the visiting squad. McKinney on Hezi, bounces it in, and Edwards with a finish underneath. The lead is down to 6.
Yeah, the fans here in Changhua County have gone quiet. They're wondering what is happening because Mike McKinney and the rest of the Black Bears are picking this defense apart for the Dreamers.
This is a 7-0 run by Macau. Leigha Macmorrow driving. Too strong on that one. We got a push underneath. And I believe, let's see who it will be on rather.
I believe they're calling that on Markus Keene under the basket as the shot went up, as we see the replay here.
And again, Mike McKinney spotting Brandon Edwards all alone in the painted area. So the Macau Black Bears, they have a chance to inch closer. Closest they've been in a while in this game. 78-72. Li Shui-lin checking in for Jet Chang.
Yeah, and Coach Kyle Julius mentioned how the Black Bears don't play deep into their bench, but here, especially in the second half, it's the Dreamers who actually haven't gotten very much rotation from their starting lineup. Only Jet Chang has really come off the bench to give some relief to these players.
That's a good point. That's the irony here. Oh, Mike McKinney! Again, slithering through.
Yeah, much to the like of Coach Charles.
Oh, Leung diving for it. Jennings already outside though. But the Black Bears are within 2 possessions here.
Yeah, Mike McKinney is just so patient. And you can tell he's a veteran player because when he comes off the pick and roll, he doesn't feel like he has to do something with it right away. He's able to see how the defense responds. If the double team comes and the post player guards him, he knows the dish pass is available to his post player. If the post player of the other team doesn't come up and stop him, he's patient and he's able to get to the rim with his quickness and athleticism, and it's just a beautiful thing to watch.
And that's why he's such a smart offensive player, talking about Mike McKinney. Meantime, here's the hustle by Jennings Leung earlier. Yang is open. That's dangerous. And amigo Yang makes the defense pay.
Yeah, and the Black Bears were furious about something on that last possession. They had 5 guys out there. It looked like they were ready, but some part of that possession didn't make them very happy.
A much-needed basket for the Formosa Dreamers to break the dry spell. That was a 9-0 run mounted by Macau before this shot, this big shot by amigo Yang.
Yeah, and Coach Charles there is worried about the shot clock on the last possession. Did not reset. Now, it should reset if they say Leung had possession of the ball, which I believe he was. He had possession, and then they called it out of bounds. So that's why I believe they reset the shot clock, but the Black Bears did not like that call very much.
So they're discussing it. Coach Charles, hearing it from our Malaysian referee. Coach Charles Hantumakos, this is his first season in the ABL. Actually, his first head coaching stint professionally, in a professional league. So Macau getting it back here. They have a fresh 14 to work with. They're down by 7. Jennings Leung, it's important that Macau gets an answer. McKinney. Edwards getting it to Jennings. Leung thinking about it, getting it to Manigault. 3 seconds to shoot. Oh, that is deflected by Young. Tremendous defense by the Formosa Dreamers.
Yeah, that's what Young needs to do. He's been awful quiet offensively, but if he can come in and play great defense like that, especially against a guy like Manigault, then he's doing things well for his team.
Oh, Young. Oh, sent back by Edwards. McKinney is on the move. McKinney dips it on the break.
Wow, he's just so crafty. It's just every time he attacks the basket, it's something new, you know, something that you haven't seen before.
Right. He's got 22 points in the game. Meanwhile, this guy has 21. Amigo, the dish out to Lee. Keane losing it. And it goes outside. That's a turnover for the Dreamers.
Yeah, and I sort of feel like on that first pass out from the post to Li Shui-lin, you know, he has to be a threat in that type of area, as we see a replay from Mike McKinney here.
Again, there's an effort for him to read the defense first before he goes for the acceleration.
Yep.
Mike again. Stops on a dime, backs up. Mike getting this one to Liang. They get it to Jennings. Too strong on the 3. And rebound goes to Keane. Young. Oh, McKinney ends up with the ball. Jennings Leung, another open look, and finally he knocks it down.
Yeah, after about 10 tries, but never too late here as he makes this a 2-point game. And Jennings Leung, it's all about the timing. You got to stay confident, and that's what he's done, and props to him for doing that.
Makes a 3-point basket at the right time, 81-79. Yang the fake. Going to Mcmorrow, that is well read by the D. And Mcmorrow couldn't handle the pass. A turnover again for the Dreamers. That's back-to-back now, allowing the Black Bears, or giving them rather an opportunity to tie or take the lead with a three-pointer in the next possession. Let's take a look at this play. That was deflected by Kenny Manigault on a fantastic read. And it was last touch on Leigha Macmorrow. So it is 81-79. 2:32 remaining in the fourth quarter. Exciting finish coming up here inside the Changhua County Stadium.
Come on, it's a 2-point game. It's a 2.
(81-79), 2.5 remaining. We have a 2-point game in favor of the home team, the Formosa Dreamers, 81-79. But the Macau Black Bears will have the possession in the next sequence here. A humongous opportunity coming up for the visiting squad, Kurt.
Yeah, most definitely. They've already scored 9 more points this half, in the second half, compared to their 35 points in the first.
Yeah.
And so offensively, they've come alive, and you know, that's picked up their energy level on the defensive end too, where they have, you know, got the Dreamers out of their rhythm here as of late.
That's correct. Dreamers have only scored, I think, 37 points here in the second half. So here is Jennings Leung. 2:20 to go in the game. They get it to McKinney. Man of the moment for the Black Bears. McKinney, one-legged fadeaway. It will drop for the tie. And Mike McKinney equalizes the game.
Yeah, that's just a hard matchup for Lee Shui Lin to be responsible for McKinney. It just has that height and length advantage, able to stop in the mid-range and pop out the 15-foot jump shot.
Inside the last 2 minutes of this one. Back at square one. Markus Keene will try to stop the bleeding, feeding Young underneath. Nice play by the Dreamers.
Yeah, Markus Keene pumped up. Just great chemistry there for Young and Keene. Timing of the cut is so important in that play.
And again, good things happen when you put Markus Keene in charge of the play. Mike McKinney will look to tie it up, rather. Attacking Yang, able to draw the foul, and McKinney taking two in just a little bit. Mike McKinney, 24 points so far. Let's take a look at first the setup job by Markus Keene, attracting three black shirts in that sequence, Kirk, opening up Jaren Young inside.
Yeah, and it would not have happened, though, if Young wasn't alert and saw the attention that was going to be on Markus Keene, and he got to the basket. That would have been a harder pass if Jaren Young had stayed in the three-point corner. I don't know if Markus Keene would have been able to get it to him, but being under the basket made it a little bit easy for Markus Keene to find him.
That's right. Good off-the-ball movement coming from Jaren Young, but Mike McKinney has a big free throw coming up, and he ties it up again. 83 apiece.
And these are the games the more disciplined team will win. You know, how will you execute? How will you space the floor and work together in these crucial moments?
Let's see.
The Black Bears in a 2-3 zone right now. We'll see if the Dreamers recognize that.
Young from the corner. Short. Rebound goes to Mike McKinney. And a big miss for the Dreamers. Black Bears has a chance, or they have a chance rather, to take the lead. Janning Leung up against Mike McKinney. They go to Mike. Oh, Mike breaks free. And the Black Bears take the lead 85-83. Keane brings it downhill. Keane flipping it up. He was fouled. And Marcus Keane heading to the free throw line for a couple of shots.
Yeah, it really looked like Marcus Keane had nowhere to go in that play, but able to get a shot off and might have been undercut a little bit. Coach Charles isn't in love with the call, but Keane will have to step to the line and knock down 2 just to get this game tied back up.
And what a comeback here for the Macau Black Bears. Kirk down big earlier by double digits against the Formosa Dreamers. Now they have the 2-point lead, and they got their first lead in a while at the right time, under a minute remaining here in the 4th quarter. And Marcus Keane heading to the free throw line for 2 big shots.
Knocks down the first, and that just shows you that this Black Bears team has been together for a couple years now. The core's been intact, and you know, they just trust each other, and they've gone through a lot of adversity in this game alone, but they've stuck together. They've trusted their system, and that's why they've been able to come all the way back.
But Marcus Keane with the equalizer, 85 apiece with 40 seconds remaining in the game.
And if they get a shot off quick, you can sort of go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here.
That's right. Let's see if they capitalize on this opportunity. Mike McKinney. Liang, big shot, too strong. Rebound goes to Young. Edwards ends up with it, and Mcmorrow commits the foul on a wild sequence on their side of the court.
Yeah, that's a tough play. Young went up hard for the rebound. You know, it's sort of who wanted it more. Yeah. And that's a tough, it's hard to save a ball that's going out of bounds in front of the other team's basket, because a lot of bad things can happen if they recover it right here like they did. But some of that's just bad luck as well. And then, you know, at least Mcmorrow was able to stop, you know, an easy layup from Edwards. But nonetheless, Edwards will have a chance to help his team regain the lead with just under 17 seconds left in the ball game.
So Brandon Edwards heading to the free throw line. 2 pressure-packed free throws coming up. Edwards making the first. Nothing but net on that one.
Yeah, we'll see if Coach Kyles Julius wants to get a timeout after this free throw potentially, or do you just put it in Marcus Keane's hands and trust him to make a play for his team?
Yeah, let's see. Edwards, the second one. 2 for 2, 87-85 Black Bears. And no timeouts called by, or timeout called by Coach Cal Julius. So he's letting this game happen. Oh, Manigault with a swipe! Kenny with a breakaway! An unsportsmanlike foul called against Leigha Macmorrow. Kenny Manigault did not like the contact at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of basketball. You don't want to give away a free dunk when you're down by 2 with 5 seconds left. So I understand the hustle by Mcmorrow, but obviously the Black Bears did not appreciate it.
And a big turn here. What a swipe first by Kenny Manigault. Stealing it away from Marcus Keane. And going for the breakaway here, Leigha Macmorrow cut him in the process. But a big steal for Kenny Manigault could seal the game for the Macau Black Bears here and complete the comeback in Taiwan.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. Black Bears really coming here and trying to steal one away here in the 4th quarter, and just a untimely turnover for the Dreamers. You know, a chance to tie the game, but great heads-up play, defensive play by Manigault, not to give up by it. And we'll see if he can capitalize on the other end.
And how about the decision of Coach Kyle to not call a timeout there, Kurt?
Yeah, that's a tough call. I mean, I'm sure they had a set play they wanted to go to already that was communicated during the free throws, but you know, at least the timeout lets you sort of get that set up a little bit better, move the ball to the front court.
But it was in the hands of their best scorer this afternoon, Marcus Keane. But Kenny Manigault icing this game up, putting it inside the refrigerator. It is 89-85 Black Bears with 4.7 remaining.
Yeah, you got to foul right away. The Dreamers will send them to the free throw line, but even then it's a 2-possession ball game.
Right. So Kenny Manigault getting this one. He will be fouled by Tien Lei. A tough loss for the Formosa Dreamers. A late unsportsmanlike foul called against Leigha Macmorrow. Manigault sealing the 2 free throws, getting them another possession, and 2 free throws coming up to make this 1-1 in this Taiwan trip for the Black Bears. Kenny, he has 18 points in the ball game. A slow start for him. Did not score at all in the first half. All of his 18 coming here in the third and the fourth quarter. And Kenny, the second one coming up.
Yeah, this will be a hard game for Coach Kyle Julius to swallow, as he knows his team squandered a double-digit second half lead. But it's a young team. In terms of how long they've been together, they're going to have to learn from this tough loss and try to just move forward, get better from it.
So the final score is 91-85. The Macau Black Bears breaking the hearts of the Formosa Dreamers here inside the Changhua County Stadium and giving them a loss in their home opener in Taiwan. The Black Bears will go up to 3-2. The Dreamers will crash down to 0-2 in season number 10. Kirk.
Yeah, and you know, the Dreamers had such a great home record last season.
Right.
They were so hard to beat here in this stadium. The fans were here today for the Dreamers, and things were rolling early, but just they're going to have to learn how to put up 2 good halves of basketball, because in the second half they allowed the Black Bears to get that confidence offensively, and you know, they scored 35 first half points, and they scored 56 points in the second half.
That's right.
For the Black Bears, and when you give up that many points in one half, it's hard to win basketball games.
And they got to work on their late game composure.
Yeah, execution. Composure. And that comes with times. You know, with time, the more games you play, the more familiar those players will be with one another.
That's right. So the final score here is 91-85 victory for the Macau Black Bears. A pleasure to work with you, Kirk.
Thank you. We'll see you next week back here.
That's right. It is the ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. The Macau Black Bears taking this one 91-85 over the Formosa Dreamers. Black Bears will head out 3-2. Dreamers 0-2. And again, as Kirk mentioned earlier, we'll be back next week for more action in your ASEAN Basketball League season number 10. Good afternoon. Have a nice day, everybody.
The ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Season opening. Oh! Lee Shui Lin, money! Oh, 2:27 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.
Leaky with a big steal. Leaky